All right. Looks like we're live. Uh, Wait to see if anybody stops in. We'll start pulling stuff off the truck since it did not. It didn't go the greatest today. What's up, Dennis? Just uploaded the video. Well, it's in the process of uploading from the crash. Um, Surprisingly, nothing blew up. Um, the door, it blew all the locking tabs off of it except for the little notch. The screws just flew out of these. Um, the wing, I don't know how, but this wing is still together. It's just a 3D print. And oh, there is a broken part right here. So it's cracked. It went into the ditch twice, and it rolled a few times. The video will be up here pretty soon. So we're gonna pull the body off and make sure nothing's truly destroyed. I did find while I was getting some of the shake out of it, I have a loose wheel. I'm surprised. Yeah, Dennis, like I am surprised. This truck is a lot tougher than I think it's ever been given credit for. The second crash happened at 31 mile an hour because that's what the GPS read as it flew off the truck into a ditch. Um, I truly did not expect this truck to be this strong. I thought the body was just going to explode. So as I'm going along in second gear, still, I was in third gear accidentally. But as I was going along in second gear, I rolled into the throttle and the back of the truck passed the front just from so much acceleration. It it was a pretty gnarly. But there's the scuffs there, the front bumper. It went down into the ditch. There's some mud on the tires, some grass on it. The wheelie bar is loose. This front wheel came loose. I don't know if it was before or after. This one's kind of loose. Yes. So I am going to put this right there. So I'm going to add it as far back as I can. And like, so you can see it's almost balanced here. Instantly down. So that'll make a big difference in it. I have another 321 block I can put on top of it, but I think that might be too much because I still want to be able to steer it. But I'm just going to zip tie this to the frame rail. And then I'm probably going to put our wing on top of it. Maybe I'll set it on here sideways. And then Put the wing on top of it. So we will see how it fares. I need to continue getting the body off of it. I got to give a shout out to Truck Tech Joe who got me these little jack stands. Hey, Mitchell. I pulled a Mitchell. I cartwheeled my semi. Uh, the 5-turn motor was whatever the front rear axle. It should be okay, I would guess. Yeah, that's I figured right here would plant the tires the best. And then you've used this, Dennis. I'm going to use some Monster Grip Crawl to soften the tires up a little bit. We actually did a burnout before the first gear run, and it did clean the tires very well. And I should have done it before the second gear run. Mitchell, the other night when we were on and you were talking about your crash on your video, I'm like, I thought I was subscribed to Mitchell. I didn't see that. So and I saw you subscribe to me, so we apparently hadn't subscribed to each other yet. Must have missed it in the thing. So I did pay attention to what you said though, and got a much longer road to crash on for this run. But I kind of got to get this done today because the road opens back up tomorrow. There's a closed road, literally, Dennis knows, 2 miles from my house. Well, there's some good ditch mud in there. I have to say, this truck, for the crashes that have happened, is holding up very well. My opinion. That crash today, you'll hear it in the video. I do it as the opening, and you can hear it from 200 feet away, maybe. Well, I guess if I look at my phone, it'll tell me how far it traveled because it was only straight down. 285 feet from where I started to where it crashed. So, yeah, you can hear the crash plain as day on the GoPro. This crash. But I'm going to have to say, like, I don't see anything broken. Like, I can tighten these wheels, I think. I feel super lucky that these wheels just might be that floppy because it's just a pin. Yeah, that's what it is. But it wasn't the issue. It literally drove so fast on the front back, it just passed the front as soon as I rolled into the throttle. Like, I don't have a broken leaf spring. So here's the test. I'm going to plug it in and see if it'll roll through the gears. I tell you what, Mitchell, I've not done top speed runs really. And I now totally see the appeal of it. Just playing with this little truck. It's obnoxious what you can get into, but all right, we have steering. First gear. That's just the dog bone slap because this drive shaft isn't held in tight. Maybe I can put some silly putty in there, take out some of that slap. Or I'm sorry, diff grease. There's third gear. Dennis, I agree. It might help with downforce, but literally, it's hard to see in the GoPro video. Put it back in first. It's hard to see in the GoPro video, but as soon as I rolled into the throttle, what's up, Wolski? As soon as I rolled into the throttle, it just blew the tires clean off. It was, it was violent. Like, and I left the 18 tooth gear in it to have the same gear ratio, hoping it would be less violent, as you just roll into it. But this motor's got so much power because it's a 5-turn. It's the Reedy Sonic 540M, the 5-turn modified. Um, yeah, it's just, maybe I can. I mean, I was rolling into it, so I don't know if adding a throttle curve to it would help because it's still going to end up hitting that full power. I think the biggest solution is the weight right there. I could put weight here and here because, if my drag car was doing that, that's what I would do. If it wheelied, I put it in the front. If it blows the tires off, I add weight to the back. Mitchell, obviously I'm limited by tire, but do you agree? Just put some weight on it to help it plant. I don't, I know you try to keep them as light as possible, but I'm sure you move weight about a bunch. Last time I scaled this, it was 55 on the front. And I know with like watching Cletus's videos, they want 55 on the rear for their no prep cars and pretty much running no prep on this with speed. I'm more of a drag race guy than a top speed guy. So, I mean, I know this front end slop is not helping, but oh, I did have one tire blow out, but it's fixed now. I guess sliding sideways. Looks like the front driveline axle might be giving a bit of torque twist and third rolling in the throttle. Yeah, it's going to take the hardest hit because the back axle, um, but I think the weight will help with the torque twist. I don't know if I should pull it apart and try and lock the diffs because the open diff will help it be more stable at speed. I found with drag cars. Um, Probably should. Can you move the batteries back there towards the rear? I could move it out of the box and just put it like here, but I'm literally planning on putting this 321 block back here to put this weight. And I probably could just Velcro strip the battery here because this is just for this. I could probably put the battery here and leave the back door off. Um, I think the first thing I need to try and do is put some silly putty in there to slow this drive shaft movement from being so violent. Um, yeah, I could, since I have the adapter here, I could put the battery here but this is nowhere the significant weight of a 321 block. This is where I think I'm putting this right here. Put your blocks on the rear behind the fifth wheel and one in front of the fifth wheel for better overall weight. Yeah, we'll see. It's the it's the 5-turn right here, the Reedy Sonic. I'm sure you guys are gonna watch the video at least for the crash, but 27 mile an hour in first gear. Our best in first gear before I think was 13, 14. Hold on. I'll tell you in just a second. 15. We went from 15 mile an hour in first gear to 27 in first gear. Have any nitro tubing, fuel tubing for the drive shaft? I don't know if it'll work. It's a dog bone style. What do you think? Just put it so you get a better look, Mitchell. There's dog bones here and here, and it's made to flex with it. That's why I thought if I put a little bit of silly putty in the cup, it'll still let it flex, but it won't be as sloppy. I do have some nitro tubing though. Well, it's actually lawnmower tubing, but same thing. I think I got to pull tires off and put a dab of glue on it. I didn't coat them. But yeah, this is an issue. I got to figure this out. Let's see if I can shim it out. But yeah, so that this motor is crazy. Like I expected it to turn those RPMs. Actually, I can probably check the RPMs if I can get to the. Let's see, where's the slop at? All right, the slop is actually in the pin. I might be able to put a shim. I know, damn ball joints. So it's got a nice bearing in the wheel, like the Tamiya way. I took, put real bearings in this truck, but all the slop is in the actual arm. I think if I pull the arm out, put a shim in there, it'll help with the walk. Cut a short piece of tubing, put it in the drive shaft. I will give that a shot. I'll have to pull the transmission because that's the easiest way to get this drive shaft in and out. Just pull the transmission forward a little bit and then drop the drive shaft and so just leave it round, Mitchell, and make like a 2 millimeter spacer in there. So I see what you're saying. These don't have any real slop in them other than their leaf springs. And they walk a tiny bit. What's up, Kurt? No curbs, but 2 ditches, Kurt. Yeah. First gear, 27 mile an hour, Kurt. Let me see if I can get to. One day I'll grow up. I understand, Mitch. I appreciate the tip. I will give that a shot for sure. Can I get to the dang programmer? Oh yeah, I can. I'll just do it off of the main wire. All right, let's see how many RPMs this thing turned. It's so awkward to work on. I have everything set up for crawlers and drag cars. Yeah, the that crash, it was funny. All I could do was laugh when I saw it just tumbling, doors flying off, wing flying off. Let's see, 12 volt. All right. Yeah, it's loading right now, Kurt. I don't even know if it's up all the way. I just posted it. It I guess I think I can share screen on here. I didn't do Zoom. Um, but here, let me see. What's this one? No, that's not it. I don't know how to share screen on this one. Oh, it's posted already? Okay. Zoom was much easier to figure out. I'm sharing screen and stuff. All right. Ah, the punch is way up. I am going to knock that down. I'm going to turn the punch down so it'll roll in easier. Save that. Yep, 75 reverse. Initial brake. This feels good. Overheat enabled. Oh, it's not showing me top RPM. This one must not do it. Let's see my other one. Yeah, it's not showing top RPM. Looks like the engine you can do line one diagram to leave that. No, that's on. Yeah. Turn the punch all the way down. Yeah, that's easy enough to do. I will do it right now, Mitchell. This was in one of my drag cars, so I did not realize that punch was all the way up. Punch is all the way down. That should help. I put 20% drag brake in it, so letting off it should slow down without being crazy. Yep, the punch is all the way down now. Again, I've done drag racing, and this is just like I'm glad it's holding up, but I'm not running it like crazy. All right, so drag rate 20%, punches at 1, brake force is 75%. When that's hitting the brake, reverse is 50. Initial brake is 20%, which is at 10, and it was basically not slowing down at all. So it's at 20. All right. Everything is saved. It is turned down. Thanks, Mitchell. Again, this is you and Kurt. Know the speed stuff a lot more than me. I just know going fast and 66 or 132 feet. There we go. All right. Now to find my fuel tubing that I have. Should be in this box. Can't remember, right? Might be a little small. This is the tubing I was using around shocks for the drag racing because the shock oil would make it swell, so I didn't want it to be too big. In the ditch twice. In the ditch twice, Kurt. All right. Let's get back to shimming these front. And Dennis, I totally agree. I thought we should do like truck talk, me and Joe and maybe Chunky. Uh, since we're getting ready to go decimate all at Magic Hobbies Saturday. Appreciate you guys stopping by on the 4th. I just thought might be interesting for people who watch to see the carnage, which it's held up. This is a tough truck. You know, yeah, Dennis, we'll get in the group chat and we'll figure out a good time for that. I'm not seeing anything like bad. Again, the wheelie bar was a little loose. One tire popped out of the groove. I'll put some. I think the main thing I need to do is take care of these shims here and check that out. All right. Hopefully I don't send the C-clip into the stratosphere. Talking about. What else is everyone up to today? Dennis, I figured you'd be barbecuing or something. It does like to stop on its side. I think that weight will help keep it planted because it just keeps the ass end keeps locking up. I was going to design like where you see people doing those car tests, like the little bars that come off with wheelie or wheels on it. But I just don't know if it'll hold up. Oh, that sucks being at work, but only an hour left is good. Busted nuts, got home from crawling. I think I'm going to crawl later. I put my Capra, it's a 4-wheel steer, and I haven't got to test it out yet out back. Try and get some in before the rain comes. wrong bit. Kurt, yeah, now I'm trying to let it coast, but I think I switched bringing it to a stop on the one in first gear, and I did not expect it to be going 27 mile an hour first gear. Nice, Dennis. I think I'm gonna fire. I might fire up the grill. I don't know. My grill is kind of busted. It we had a windstorm and it got blown across the porch out back that I have. I got it put back together mostly, but one of the burners was just not happy. All right. I'm sure Kurt has tons of these, the little Traxxas shim kits. Uh, you guys all probably have a ton of these. I wonder if Joe would approve of shimming semi truck knuckles. Well, I tightened it up a lot. See if I can. And I dropped it. You don't run the Traxxas shims for drive shafts and that. Oh, changing poopy diapers. Oh, it's been a long time. Not 30 years, but a long time. All right. There's one shim, I think. Well, Kurt, I'm using these shims to tighten up these steering knuckles because they were, as Dennis said, it looked like the ball joints were blown on it. It's fighting me a little bit. Get it wiggled around in there. Get back in place, shim. Oh, it is fighting me. I don't have any smaller shims. And I think if I get this one in place, it'll be just right. It's just getting it in there. It is just the slightest bit off in there. I feel like for Sergeant J, I should have a chorus sitting out and a stogie. There it goes. All right. Now, if the C clip goes back on, this is a success on this side. Wait. There we go. There's that side. Thing truck's so long with this wheelie bar. You wouldn't have to wait first, Mitchell? I mean, it just blew the tire clean off. And the truck's holding up good, but I just don't know how many more hits like that it can take. I am going to clean the tires and put grip on them though too, so it'll hook a little bit better. It's not aggressive. All right, so let's here further. I have to check that out. Yeah, it's not. I crashed at 30, but the power of this motor just annihilated the tires. All right, Mitchell, we'll give it a shot without the weight. I do think I rolled into it a little too much. August 31st. I mean, I have time to do more, but finding the space to do it is the issue because that road opens back up tomorrow, which, I can find another road probably, but that one is 5 minutes away. And I have, oh yeah, happy 4th to you, buddy, and everyone else in here. Orange, yeah. August 31st is when it's up. Yeah, that's what the rules said. So I got time to really do a bunch of testing, but I'm going to Michigan in next month for the sand dunes. And then I know we got a couple comps coming up. Dennis is running one. Take it to work and run that over at Polaris. If I take it to work, I can just close the road down myself. That might be frowned upon though. Now, I don't know. My hookup isn't there anymore, but out in London at Opata, they have a speed track, and I've uh, been on it for training. That would be awesome. But that would be a whole day of taking stuff out, tools, shims apparently. So close to fitting back in there. It's just a tiny bit off. There we go. I think I got it. There we go. All right, that should fix the front end wobble, hopefully. Next, we'll be addressing the drive shaft. All right. Let's see if that fixes our front end wobble. There's dirt up on the frame. How much does it weigh altogether? I think the last time I scaled it, I could only do the front and rear tires. So I only have the 4-piece scale kit. It was 6.8 pounds. So, I mean, it's not that heavy for what it is. I'll get the scales out after I get it back together. I mean, I know it's not true speed run weight, but as far as like most of our drag cars are around 2,100 grams, 2,200 grams right in there. But their carbon fiber chassis cars are the slashes I think were around 23 to 2,400 pounds before the carbon fiber, so or grams, 2,300, 2,400 grams. This was 3,000, almost 31. Yeah, it was a lot lighter than I thought it would be too. I don't have all the chrome on it, which is good since it was in the ditch. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Just a slightest bit of wobble in it now. That's night and day. All right, that issue is addressed. guess I should turn it on and make sure it still steers as long as those aren't too tight. Well, yours is a fifth scale motor, isn't it, Mitchell? Let's see. Gosh, August 26th. Yeah, August is 26th is a charity count, which Dennis will talk about. I think Eric and I are going to collaborate on a truck to raffle off to give the proceeds to Operation 11 Charlie there. If you're interested in doing that, we're kind of toying around with a couple different bodies. This was a thought to make it like a pre-runner style. The back half of the Phoenix cage and the front Ranger. Like I set it on my Gatekeeper and it fits really well. But we have another one that we have. Stuff. Yeah, when Keith brought it up, man, I was like, I got to do that. I got to try it. Keith and Francois, the tank, um, said, let's do this. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make my first speed run. Ooh, that steering is a little stiff. Put a dab of oil on it to help move it some, but it shouldn't. I shouldn't push it too much. That little servo's in there flexing a little bit. It'll work its way down, right? But on most, turn my dual rate down. Yeah, I can. Um, I've gotten pretty good with the drag cars of just lightly bumping the steering. But I was just making sure it still turned, Kurt, because I put that shim in there and it's tight now. Like it had a ton of wobble before, but now it's minute compared to the beginning. Um, but with what I normally do is not the dual rate, is I turn the channel speed down so it reacts a lot slower. I mean, I guess I can do it right now. And by no means am I saying I am. But that's why we're sitting here. It won't take much to do that. Steering. Now, for my drag racing, I turn the turn speed slower, but the return is the same, so it comes back to instant center faster. Is that going to cause a twitch in it? I usually go like 0.6, 0.7. Because basically, we want it to get back to center as fast as possible, but my correction so it doesn't go that fast is my thought. If I'm wrong, let me know. Not going to hurt my feelings at all. You guys do this a lot more than me. Um, 1 second. All right. So you keep the return up high. Like that's cranking it back and forth, guys. So I think that's a pretty good speed because I'm only gonna, yeah, I'm gonna have to put a drop of oil on that so it frees up. Bump and return. Yep. That's the way I run the drag cars. Just a little. All right. Pull this plate off. Then move the transmission forward. Just a little taparoo. Tap, tap, tap it in. Tell you what, investing in what is it, the Japanese standard bits for the Tamiya stuff was nice because it helps with these screws a bunch. So, honest questions, Jim. So the guys in here that have done this more than me, I know you said don't add the weight, but since I'm not really, I don't know, like, do you think the punch is going to make that much a difference from keeping the back end coming around? Since I'm driving two tires with both open diffs, I just really, I really think the weight will help smash these leaf springs down some so it won't roast tires. I don't know. Yeah, my fuel hose is definitely too small for that. Guessing Santa is not welcome. No, this was a old farmhouse and it had fireplaces and had a wood and oil burning furnace. I had to put furnaces in upstairs and downstairs. This house was built in like the 1920s. So what's up, Guru? And welcome in, Keegan. Well, the drive shaft still looks straight. Yeah, so I've investigated semi crashes with the bobtails, and most of them happened because there was no trailer on it. The back end wants to hop. So I have a little silly putty here. Instead of the this is my backup diff grease for racing. Can you soften or remove the leaf springs in there? Um, it's not like a trail finder where you can pull the pack apart. It's literally got three leaves in it, and it's a center pivot. So soften it up. I don't know. It depends on the speed you gain prior to 100% power. Actually, look at the point where I cannot spin the tire. I see what you're saying, but it has spun the tires at quarter throttle, even in third gear, because I'm out of pinion gearing to take gear out of it. I could Dremel the motor plate and stuff, but I really think just getting it to where I can roll out and keep it planted is going to be the key. Sorry, I'm not playing with boogers here. I'm trying to make the silly putty the same size for each dog pin. And I've been sharing my secrets with Keith, so maybe if the silly putty works, I can tell him about it. You can use like the DRK. That's what I use in my no prep, or the Castle will do that. But I did turn the punch down on this, so it is adjusting when the power comes in. All right. We have now silly putty the dry shaft. Oh, that's a lot better. If it holds up to speed, we'll see. Happy 4th to you as well, Guru. Yeah, this is the. Oh, there we go. Just falling on me. Huh? This is the Hobbywing, just stock, no timing. So it does have punch control. It's not as crazy as my DRK that I run in my 13.5 car, which is Jericho has been using in bracket, because you can pinpoint it down to milliseconds on when the power comes in through 5 stages. What's up, Arctic? Your internet must still be working. What's up, Nitro? Just working on the speed run semi. And Mitchell was and Kurt were both nice enough to give some tips on getting this thing fired up or adjusted after the crash. YouTube's a wonderful place to get information. And I'm sure Kurt and Dennis and Guru will laugh, but I wouldn't have met any of you if it wasn't for Brad. Oh, almost forgot the plate. Other than cooking down the getting the wing put back on and adjusting the wheelie bar, this might be ready for another speed run here in a few. That 120 Tuesdays. Yeah, I may have. Well, your boy Chris only has StreamYard, so he can only allow 6 people, right? It probably will be like a total different truck now that the experts have weighed in. Still have to fix the back battery door. I thought Sergeant J might run one tonight too, Dennis. His Brad is at his friend's. I know you don't know that 'cause you didn't watch, but no, you were there Thursday. Brad said he wasn't going to run one. I think it was Thursday. But yeah, send me the link tonight, Dennis, and I'll try and jump on. I was worried for a second. I had 2 extra screws, but I forgot I took the screws out for the 5th plate. The video was from already this morning. If you're asking me, uh, for, and now that it's back fixed, I may take it back out. Where I where that road's closed is literally like right there for me. We thought about live streaming it, but didn't know how many people would be able to jump in. He's not about a big spoiler. So I do have this for the rear. So this is what I've been running on the back. Suffered a little damage in the crash, but for a 3D print, only at 25%, it's held up pretty well. It's launched like 3, 4 times. I got to find the screw to put in the back battery door because it literally just took the sliders and blew them apart when it rolled. Happy 4th to you too. Okay. Yeah, so these little screws blew out. We actually found one. Considering the carnage of that crash, finding everything but one screw, pretty happy. All right. I'm not familiar with the CA10. Might do an offline one. All right. Battery door is fixed, hopefully. There we go. That's sparklers. I don't know if I have any sparklers left. Oh, the 124th gang. Sorry, it's not like I don't have a Maz truck, Guru. Hey, what's up, Eric? Very scientific placement of that. It's an old 40 style international single axle flatbed truck. I have to check it out. I was just messing with you, Guru. Oh, it definitely lowered it. The wheelie bar has moved some. Too far for less fun. Yep, that's our weight. It definitely helped. And very efficient fasteners too. Zip ties. Yeah. Pro straps. That's right. Too early. What's up, Sergeant Jay? Good seeing you. Good seeing everyone that stopped in. And for those of you that didn't see it in the teaser, I had to do a shout out for Keith, the KVRC 13, and had to do it with like a marker, as Keith would want. Yeah, It's sat down some with the weight on the back, but the wheelie bar does help. Like we have found that it's stable and it pushes it back to where it is having this out here. I run it to where it's just like 2 millimeters off the ground. So it definitely helps. If I knew everyone was going to be awake, I would open the Zoom. I figured people would be out traveling or whatever for the fourth. Mitchell could have made me some bat wings for this to keep it straight. Could have put on the back. He's the carbon fiber guy. It's pretty darn close. Yeah, the perfect pass back wings. It's got silly putty in it. Boy, got silly putty in the drive shaft. All right. That's right. JB Ward can fix anything. Doing some wheelie bar adjustment here. Get it to where it's just off the ground. There we go. Go just paint the chrome things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to paint some chrome on the front bumper. If you can see right there, it took some damage. The tanks have held up pretty well, actually. The wheels have some damage. How to clean some tires. But as you guys can see, it is back together. So I'll use my Monster Grip pre-grip. That's right, Dennis. Any more crashes will look like a Swift truck. Well, Keith is going to paint this after this is all said and done, as long as he doesn't get mad at me for messing with him. If anyone hasn't seen KBRC 13's paintings and stuff, it's good. All right, they are pre-gripped. After I clean these tires, I will put it on the scales for anyone that's interested to see the weight and the weight balance now. So this pre-grip is hopefully Keith is looking and talking to people. Yes, I hope so. Um, the pre-grip cleans tires and softens them a little bit. It is not a true prep. It's almost like just using naphtha or whatever, but a little less harsh. It is a solvent. It is not VHT based. We actually use it to clean our tires and prep them for the drag racing. And then I will be putting crawl on here, which Dennis uses, I use and stuff for crawling. I've also used it for drag racing. It's not like super tacky because I have some super tacky stuff, but this should just be enough that it acts like um, a real tire where the heat brings it out for the friction, brings it out and activates it. And Dennis uses it, Joe uses it, I use it, Jericho uses it. For lighter application like stock drag racing, we use it because it dries and it doesn't pick up dirt and stuff. So this should be good to condition the tires, soften them up a tiny bit to help with that sticking to the road and not just rolling off. So hopefully all this, thank you, Mitchell. All this eliminates the issues we had this morning where the motor was just way too much. Like we picked up 12 mile an hour in first gear. We went from 15 to 27. Just the motor. No other changes. It was the same gearing as the last run. So if you guys can see, I just put this on the tires. You can already see like this one's pretty much dry, except for the bottom. It will absorb it all in. Yes, it does break down the tire. Like if you're using super soft drag tires, you don't want to use too much, but it doesn't break it down to the point where it's going to balloon and explode. This stuff is very, very mild. So basically, it has this is their braking formula, which is, a kind of acidic solvent. You use it when you first get tires to take all the packing crap out of it and the mold stuff, the mold agent. You run it on a drill, use the braking formula on a rag, and the tire will actually get sticky. You let it sit, you put pre grip on it to soften it and seal in everything. And then you put whatever solvent or whatever compound you want. But my guess is with the crawl will do just enough to still let this hook up without breaking anything, considering it's just an aluminum hollow dry shaft and dog bones with little pins. So I don't want it to just stick and pop an ESC. Yep, I'm just letting it soak in. I might do another coat later before I go run. They also make stuff for dirt where it just softens the tire a little bit and it doesn't have as much of the tack to it. I wouldn't use it on foam tires though. And those Hoons, from what I've seen, they heat up so quick. I don't know if I'd use it on a Hoon or not. You might be able to use the crawl on the Hoon, but I definitely wouldn't use any braking formula or anything like that. All right. Tires are prepped and it'll dry and be fine until I run. And if I do a second coat, it still just absorbs in the tire. It doesn't like overload the tire because it's not so heavy. Whereas if I was using the Octane or Plus or X that they offer, which I think the Octane is the best, it it would be you'd see it on the tire just like goop. All right, the scales are teared out to nothing. And we'll set the battery roughly where it goes. See ya, we'll see. All right. We have definitely changed our weight balance. If you can see, it's floating around 39, 39, 39, 40, with 47 on the front and 53 on the rear. Left to right's pretty good. It's 1990 to 1948, 1950. Saying the left rear has a little bit more weight than the others. I don't know if it's the way it's sitting on the scale. I'll move it in. That evened it out. Now it's 50-50. All right. Adding that block, and I don't think I had the battery the first time I checked it. It is now 8.6 pounds. So we added the block and the battery to take it up. Those blocks are heavy. If you've ever used the 321 block, but I like the the weight balance better now. I know no prep cars prefer a little over 50 to 55 on the back, which should help this plant the tires a little better. Wheelie bar is secure. Everything's fixed. All right, I think it's ready for a run, guys. I will probably go out and make a run with it and see how it does. Thanks for stopping by. Good seeing everybody. Everybody have a happy 4th of July. And Dennis, let me know about tonight, and I'll see you in the group chat. And I might have a second video of the speed run today, guys. Keep tuned. Have a good one.